Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I hope you guys are doing really, really well wherever you are. Shout out to everyone in chat. I think that Thrax got first today, so congratulations, dude. He said early gang. He was indeed very early. Kodo's got second. KK's here as well. Hey man, good to see you. Good to see you. Blue Toggles, thank you so much for the subscription, man. I really appreciate that. And thank you to everyone who followed just before the stream started as well. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Kodo says he's good. Hi, good. I made that joke in chat as well. Prototypi is an unusual name, but it's not my name. It's the name of the business. It's fine. It's fine. Who else have we got here? Huey's here as well. Hey, man. Good to see you. Anarchy as well, as ever. He said, evening, Jay. Hope you had a good weekend. I did, and I'm really looking forward to Friday, dude. We'll talk more about that shortly. Crafted Cables is here as well. He said, what's up, chat? Hoping everyone is having a good Sunday. Yes, I'm missing the Formula 1 for this. So to talk about Gateron X switches, I am missing the F1. So no F1 spoilers. If you drop an F1 spoiler in chat today, you will be banned. You will be perma-banned. So please don't spoil that, because I'm going to watch that when I get home. It's on record at home right now. I'm going to watch it as soon as I get home, about 11 p.m. tonight. I'm going to catch up on the race there. Unusual, thank you so much for the 2 months of Prime subs as well. Thank you very much for that. And Chris Bezic as well. He says cash money for 5 months as well. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see who else is in the chat. Crafted Cables we talked about. Fox is here as well. He says, yo, yo, yo. Hey, man, good to see you. Coinstub says he's hyped for these. I hope you are. They're on my desk. They're here on my desk. They're literally right here. Look, they're right there. I've got thousands of the things. I'm AER bag. Hey man, good to see you. Gilbert's here as well. Hey Gilbert. Here you got a Southpaw. Nice. I like a Southpaw. I've been looking for a Southpaw myself. I think Anarchy might bring his on Friday. I think maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Telvin is here as well. Hey man, good to see you. Hugh says, what is GetX? I don't know. We will find out. Gilbert says, who owns the GetX molds? That's an interesting question. It's an interesting question. Probably something we won't get into on the stream. It's probably not my remit to say that, to answer that question. Sour's here as well. Hey Sour, good to see you, my dude. Wow, I'm trying to catch up with chat. Rabbit Sensei's here as well. Hugo says, can GetX? We'll find out, dude. We will find out. Tyler says, everyone asks, when is GetX? No one asks, how is GetX? Well, I think we'll answer both of those questions today. Let's see if KK did good work. Spoiler alert, he did. It's as simple as that, he did. So we'll talk about more later on, but that's a spoiler. TLDR, don't watch the rest of the stream. He did good work. There you go. That's the answer in a nutshell. Who else have we got? It's Wolf is here as well. He says, evening, Jay. Hey, man, good to see you. Geeky Ed as well says, I have mince pies in November. Do you know, mince pies signify the start of Christmas to me? And my wife actually asked me on Saturday when we nipped to the shops, she said, do I want mince pies? And I said, no, because it's too early. It's not Christmas time. And I feel like the second week in December, that's when I can have a Christmas pie. That's the start to build up towards Christmas. So, yeah. Stosness, hey man, good to see you. Blue Toggle's redeeming posture, check and hydrate. We're good on the posture, but let's have some coffee. Hot Lemon Tea says, Jay skipping F1 to stream. It's on record. Do not spoil it. If anyone spoils anything about the F1, you'll just be banned. I'm not even going to hesitate. I'll just ban you, because it's the only sport I follow. So if anyone ruins this race for me, I will be very, very upset. Celestial's here as well. Good to see you. Zunette. Chris Bezic says evening. UK Peath says evening all. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Blue Toggle says, just ordered my W180. Nice. I ordered two of them. I went for a raw one and a pink one. I have no idea how I'm going to build them, but I'm excited for those to turn up. Keyboard, I don't have a keyboard command, but it's a Heine TKL one. There is a matching numpad floating around somewhere as well, and it's got Yugoslavian OG die subs on it. So these are OG Cherry Yugoslavian die subs on there. One of my favorite sets of all time. Vintage OG sets that I had to find off of a board. Quite difficult to find. So yeah, it is a Heine TK one. The numpad should be here. Here's the matching numpad as well. So there we go. Heine TKL1 and matching numpad. How's my day? Says Peter Poppins. It's good. It's been busy. I've spent all day sorting through audits. which the wife has not been happy about because she wanted me to do DIY today and I didn't get a chance to. The 20% off sale we did on Thursday, the in-stock Icky extras, the in-stock JO1 extras, everything sold out like so fast over the weekend that we've got like thousands of orders now to pack and ship, which is it's like a month's worth of orders have coalesced into 3 days, and we have to now pack them within 3 days to keep my SLA starting tomorrow. So there is lots and lots to go on. So 8 o'clock in the morning, Mel and I are going to meet in the coffee shop, which is just up the road from here, to discuss planning and tactics. I think it's going to involve pizza, coffee, and some late nights to get it through everything, but it'll be good. It'll be good. Bard says Maz is going to win. If that happens, dude, if Mazepin wins this race, I'm so confident that Mazepin will not win this race that if he does, you can pick any keyboard from my collection you would like for free. Like, but this is only open to Bard, only Bard. If he wins today in Mexico, you can have any keyboard you like from my collection, because I am that confident he will not win. Your coffee mug is buckled. Yeah, these were handmade by a friend who works for a local company. So it's got his company stamp on the base, and they were all handmade. And if I flick over the camera really quickly, so the shape of the cup is actually the shape of his hands as he goes like that around the cup to shape it. That's the shape of his hand. So yeah, I have 2 of them. They're really cool, slightly different, but very similar. Yeah, I love them. and the CJ Switch too. Yeah. I probably shouldn't have arranged them like that. Hydrate, go burr. Yeah, we've got all this coffee to drink. Sour says KK good. Yeah, he's good. He's good. It was a community effort. It was, but yeah, you did a lot of the driving. Mince pies are fair game whenever they're available in the supermarket. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Start of Advent for me. I'm not. In fact, actually, I have a gift. Don't tell Salvan, but I'm sending Salvan a gift, and it's a very, very special Advent gift. Watch out for that on his Insta stories if he gets it sometime soon. Well, he might not choose to share it. He might choose to not share it. I don't know. We'll see. Banger color combo. Nice. Last second isn't until after 6 tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Oh, for the for Chaos Theory, yeah. You just ordered last second for GMK Chaos Theory. Yeah. So Chaos Theory. I mean, it'll close when I get up in the morning. That's the plan, unless we decide to extend it or whatever else. But yeah, the group buys usually close when I get up in the morning. Still happy I sniped the last Icky mint on Friday. Nice. Actually, the mint Bluetooth versions were still in stock until Saturday morning, which I was really pleased about because I was hoping they would all stay in stock over the weekend. That didn't happen. Tidal. So if you want a coffee subscription, go to Dog and Hat and get their monthly box. You can sign up for 1, 2, or 3 coffees each month. I get the 3 coffee one. It's like a kilogram of coffee a month for like 25 quid. You get to try 3 different coffees, all with different flavors, tasting notes, and everything else. It's really, really good. This is coffee from Panama. It's really nice. They did one that had like notes of mint ice cream, strawberry ice cream. Sorry. Get this right, not mint, strawberry ice cream a couple of weeks ago. It was really good. Mel couldn't taste it, but yeah, that's something you need to do. Switch Doctor AU, hey man, good to see you. Truman says, can take a train and come help. Dude, you're more than welcome anytime. I'm only here. So interestingly, interestingly, there is some big things happening this week. I'll talk about them in a few minutes, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, you could come. Really confident there. I'll take the Jane. Well, it was only open to Bard, so no one else gets that. Crazy things have happened, dude. That would be insane. Like if that happened, like that would throw Formula 1 on its head. Like it would literally throw Formula 1 on its head. It's not going to happen. The mug triggers me as a left-hander. It would be upside down. Just be right-handed then. Just be right-handed. So actually, my wife, when she uses these, because we've got some at home as well, she prefers to drink out of this spouty part. So she uses it left-handed, like in my left hand like this. I prefer it right-handed, but there we go. Where can we buy the poster behind you? It's so cool. I think my keyboard.eu are going to have some in stock. I don't know if they're going to let other people stock them or not. But yeah, as far as I know, either Crash or my keyboard.eu will have them in stock. Tyler says, we'll order now. Just got a proper espresso set up a few days ago, so I want it nice. I've just ordered a new espresso machine, and it was really expensive. like the one I have is 700 or 800 British pound, which is just shy of $1,000, I think, if you convert it. It's the Sage Barista Pro. That's what I have at the minute, but I've just ordered something rather special. I'm not going to spoil it, but it was like 3 times the price. So it should be here in a couple of weeks. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but watch out on the Insta stories in a couple of weeks because it'll turn up. But yeah, I had to order it from Australia as well, which means the shipping was like, I think it was like $600 shipping from Australia. It was nuts. It was crazy expensive. But I'm excited for it. Does it make the coffee taste 3 times as good? I'll tell you when I get it. I'll tell you when I get it. I will tell you when it arrives. Zizor, I think he knows what it is. I think he knows. Okay. Right, before we get on to Gateron X, which I do have here. These are the Gateron X switches. And I have a lot of them. I just want to talk about what's happening this week at Prototypi. Give you a brief update really quickly what's going on this week. So tomorrow morning, Mel and I are going to meet at 8 o'clock in the coffee shop. We're going to plan out the whole week. This week to ship is the in-stock orders from last week that we haven't done as yet, which is basically pretty much everything since the 20% off sale on Thursday night. Friday was a bit of a write-off day, so nothing got packed then. So that's kind of what we're going to start with. As well as that, there's all of the Icky 68 orders from Friday that need to be shipped out as well. And then there's all of the JO1 and extras, JO1 commissions as well, because all of the JO1 commissions arrived as well last week. So they're all going to ship out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So there's going to be a couple of thousand orders going out in that time period. At the same time, we're also going to ship out DCS Delftware. So we've already shipped out just the keycap only set orders, and we're going to now ship out the orders with desk mats and hopefully Ramas as well. The Ramas should arrive tomorrow. So Ramas, desk mats, and DCS Delftware orders will get shipped out as well between now and Wednesday. And then Delftware will go in stock at some point in the next week or so. As well as that, we also got the banana splits in on Friday. They came really late on Friday night. So we've got the banana splits in. So if you're waiting for those, finally they will ship this week. There is a lot of orders to count out. I think we've got 40,000 switches to count out for group buy orders. So yeah, there's a lot to count out switch-wise this week. So once we've got through those, we'll then put the rest in stock, but they should go out this week as well. And there were a few sneaky people that did manage to buy some of these. As part of arranging the whole project. So those orders are going to ship out Monday or Tuesday as well. So again, these came on Friday quite late on. Haven't had a chance to count them out as yet, but if you did order some of these Gateron X's as part of that whole Kevin kind of arranging it stuff, then they will be shipped out this week. Monday to Wednesday, that's when everything should go out. I'm hoping. If anyone wants to come up and help, I will pay you in pizza and coffee and beer and cash to get everything packed. So if anyone is in the area and they want to help, doors will be open for that. We do them by weight. So yeah. Okay. I was looking to give a nice mini review soon. Now, please. I will do, yes. I'm going to guess it's a custom coloured espresso setup to match the Datsun. Not to match the Datsun, but you might be right on some of the other parts. But yeah, we count all switches by weight. I don't have the scales to hand, they're somewhere in here. But we just weigh like the switches out and do them by pieces. But we only have one set of scales and one real working area, so it's like a one-person job. And you can get through about 30,000 switches a day with the setup we have. It's not ideal, but it should do the job. You're too kind, the boss. I'm free Wednesday, can come help you finish on time, just an hour away. Oh man, if you want to come around, I will be more than happy to have you here. Huey says, glad to hear it. Glad to hear what? Glad to hear what, dude? What are you glad to hear? Sounds like an excuse to take a day off university. Packing seems more entertaining than coursework. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Futurebound says hello. Hey man, good to see you. The interesting thing is this week as well, we're only in Monday to Wednesday and then Friday. Thursday is off because I have a delivery arriving at Bristol Port. So on Thursday, I will be in Bristol for the day, or well, at the port, not the city centre. So if anyone wants to come say hi, you will be able to say hi to me in Bristol on Thursday, because I have a new car being delivered that I've imported from Thailand. It arrives on Tuesday, but I should be able to pick it up on Thursday. So yeah, Wednesday night is basically go pick up a trailer. Thursday is drive with a friend all the way down to Bristol, pick up the car at the docks, find somewhere to have some lunch, and then drive back. And then Friday, back in the workshop as well. So it's going to be busy. Make a switch counting robot with technically. I wish I had the time to do that. I wish I had the time for that. So yeah, so it's going to be a busy week. So packing a few thousand orders, getting a lot of group buys out. I think we've got 4 group buys to ship, getting through the JO1 extras, the IK extras, and all of the orders from the sale, picking a car up from the docks, and then finally getting Gateron X's, the banana splits, Delftware, and a few other extras listed in stock this week as well. That's the plan. That's the plan. Busy week, guys. Busy week. I think I would be out of business if I started a Switch business. I'd make people count them out one by one and have random numbers screamed out by Tannoy. Yeah, you would not be a very nice boss if you did that. Oh, you're glad to hear that the Gateron X going out. Yeah, I mean, I only got them on Friday. I tend to prioritize in-stock orders first before group buy stuff, but they will happen as soon as I can this week. Interestingly enough, the banana split orders have actually been waiting longer than the Gateron X ones, so it's like it's difficult to work through. But yeah, we'll get them all out this week. Blue Toggle says, I got my first GMK setting yesterday, GMK white on black. Going from cap blanks, I'm not sure I like the cherry profile. That's fair, man. Not everyone does. Not everyone does like cherry profile. It's my favorite profile, but not everyone likes it. Future Band, you can't hear me. I think the sound should be okay. Can everybody else hear me? I assume you can. Let me know. Yeah, I need. What I want to do is actually want to build a hopper. So when I get some spare time, yeah, I do want to do a workshop stream where we build an automated switch packing robot effectively. So effectively it's going to be like a giant hopper which is going to drop switches into bags, and then it will have like a little laser that will count how many switches drop out. We'll have it feed at a certain rate. It'll count how many switches drop through, and then it will seal the bags up and drop them into a container once they've counted that many switches out. That's the plan. That's where I want to get to. We'll just have that as an automated setup, and we won't need to count by weight. Then it will count literally automatically, but we'll just be able to fill the hopper up and put bags in it, and it will just go. So that's the plan. Hopefully it will be doable at some point, and we'll stream the build of that as well, because I'm going to make that on the laser cutter and with some 3D printed parts and stuff. So I'll do a couple of workshop streams when we get around to that. Thank you so much, Ragan Space Cables, for the subscription. I appreciate that, my dude. Thank you so much. You do not have to sleep at all. 6 to 8 hours safe, dude. Like this past week, I think I spent, like, if I work out since Monday, I think I've spent 109 hours here at the workshop, which is just nuts. It's crazy, but it's going to be twice. Like the bags under my eyes, these are real. These are real bags here that you see. Like I think it's going to be even busier next week. It's going to be even busier next week. Fully roboticized warehouse? No, I don't think we'll do that. Just the switch counting is the only thing I want to do. Sour, hey man. I don't know what you're saying. Oh yeah, but hey man, good to see you. Desmat by Sour. Is group back coming soon? I think. Yes. Right, okay. Does my wife not miss me? Yeah, I think she does. She got really upset with me yesterday, actually. Yeah. She does. She gets frustrated sometimes. Right, okay, let's talk about Gateron X, because we've done a lot of talking. You were saying hi to space? Oh right, okay, but hi to you too as well. Hey man, thanks for that. Right, let's crack on with the build stream. That's why you got out of being your own boss. Yeah, the worst part is I don't even get paid for it. I don't take a salary or anything, so yeah, I work for zero. Okay, so right, let's talk about Gateron X switches. So I'm just gonna get up my notes on this one, because I want to make sure that I give you guys the right spec. I did have them up a minute ago and I've closed it down. There we go. Right, okay. So let me tell you a little bit about these switches first of all. So these are Gateron X switches. I have lots of them, like seriously a lot of them. Let's talk specifications. So the top housing, this clear, well, milky top housing you see here, this is a nylon blend. The black base is also a nylon blend. You'll see that there is a small X engraving just on the inside of the stem, just there. That's how you know if you've got a Gateron X. You see that just there inside the circle? just there. There we go. Okay, stem, standard POM, but with some tweaks. 50 gram actuation, 65 gram bottom out, stainless steel spring. Fairly standard specifications. There is no lube in this switch. There is 0 lube in this switch. In terms of notes, what I want to tell you is that this is polished in a couple of areas on the inside. So just to get this completely correct, I'm going to read from this. So each bottom housing comes with an X engraving on the bottom, as well as polished interiors where the stem contacts the housing. So in the black base, wherever the stem contacts the housing, that's polished. As well as that, the stem is polished too. So these are polished on the inside, so we'll take one apart and we'll have a look at them inside. And I'll be honest with you, these are really smooth. Like, these are super smooth to press. Like, the key push on this, the key feel, super smooth. Now, I will say they're not quite as smooth as the Gateron CJs. I want to be completely clear about that. The Gateron CJs are a slight bit smoother, but like maybe 2 or 3%. Like, it's hard to feel it, but it's there. But these are super smooth, and these springs work really, really well. Sounds like a QVC walkthrough. I just want to be really, really clear on what they are and what they aren't. So there we go. So I'll let Kevin, who's in chat, KK, I'll let him give everyone an update on why he did the project. I don't feel like it's my space to say that. This uses a standard 50 gram actuation, 65 gram bottom out stainless steel spring. So it's a Gateron spring. Spontaneously, which one do I prefer? This. I feel like where the CJ switch is smoother slightly, it doesn't sound that great in boards. Like, it's super duper smooth. I mean, if you prioritize smoothness, this is the switch for you, regardless of everything. But if you want something that doesn't sound too high pitched, then I think these are going to be perfect. So one of mine, if you guys remember Chris Swires, one of mine and his, and Max, who is behind Cable Car Designs, West Foxtrot. So one of our favorite switches combined collectively back when we all started the hobby in 2015, 2016, and before, was to have a Gateron Milky Top on a cherry black bottom housing. And this is effectively what this is coming back to. So it's taking it back to that roots, what was really, really good. And we used to put these Milky Tops on switches just to make the sound better. So the Milky Tops always sound a lot better. I haven't tried these in a board yet, but comparing them to the CJs, I think these are going to sound much, much better. I'm really, really excited to try these on the board. I'm really excited to try these on the board. They're not hand polished, no, they're machine polished. But spontaneously, which do I prefer? In my head, I know that I'm going to go for the Gateron X. Like, I just know that that's where I'm going to be. There you go. Kevin's KK's put some details in there. Started as a project to get OG tanges, smooth Milky Tops, led to the idea of new molds, also to get polished rails and stems, as this community project to get stock smooth Milky Top gats. Yeah. So the OG tanges were one of those switches that I was mentioning, where it was a black base, a Milky Top, and then a tangerine stem. And they were really good. People loved them. People tried to do some similar ones. They did the FEI switches, FEI switches, which had what would have been a recolored Milky base, and they weren't as good. The black base is what people wanted. The nylon blend base is what people wanted, and they were solid switches. Those tops as well. This is why people like Nixie switches, the cherry versions with Milky Tops, because the Milky Tops just make them sound so good. If you want to check out one of my ancient videos where I did a Alice build with Nixie switches, some of my favorite switches ever, and this is going to replicate that. I'm pretty sure that this is going to replicate that feel for me, and this might become my go-to switch to build with. Yeah, so there we go. That's where we've got to. Try getting the orange stems, but Gateron didn't let us. Yeah, I'll let you talk about that. I've been moving my CJs completely stuck around, settled in the stacked acrylic build. Yeah, I think boards that are going to sound different to like an aluminium case, CJs are going to work really well. I think any aluminium case, this is where you're going to want to be, because like they're slightly less smooth, but they're really, really, really nice switches. Like the push feel is great. There is very little wobble in these as well. Like the tolerances are really good and tight, but it still retains that smoothness because they're polished. You can hear a slight bit of noise if you hold it up to your ear. You probably can't hear that. No, it's not going to pick it up, but there is a slight bit of noise, but again, you can't tell that on the typing feel. So we're going to put these in a board and we're going to see what they're like. Now I have a lot of these. This is the board we're going to use today. So this is a Mekanisk board. You'll remember this board from when we did the CJ switches. I'm pretty sure that we did this as a Hotswap build. Pretty sure. Let's find out, because if I didn't, then I'm going to have to find something else to build. Let's just double check that we did do this as a Hotswap build. These are polished, yeah. So the stems and the bases have polished areas. Where the stem touches the base on the inside, they are polished. So both on the stem and on the base, and that's to help the smoothness. Right, I'm pretty sure this was Hotswap. Let's just grab a switch puller. Just check. Where's my good switch puller? I've lost my good switch puller. And before this wasn't Hotswap. Oh no, it was Hotswap. There we go. We're good. We're good. We're good for the stream, guys. We're good for the stream. Right, let's get these keycaps off. If you guys have got any questions about the switches, now's a good time to ask while I take these keycaps off. Is this Dolch 2 Mist? No, this is the original Sky Dolch run from 2016, I want to say. GMK Sky Dolch from 2016. Just yanks the pads off a non-Hotswap. It wouldn't have come out with that little pressure if it wasn't a Hotswap trend. How are they polished? They're machine polished by Gateron themselves in the factory. If you want any more details of that, Kevin may have some details to share, but I don't know the process specifically within Gateron as to how they achieve it, so I will let Kevin answer that one if he knows. If not, we may have to put it down as a proprietary secret that's owned by Gateron. I don't have any cobalt switches, but from what I understand, these feel a little bit nicer. How do they polish the inside of the base? Mechanical process, from what I understand. So they're just asking how Gateron actually do the polishing, Kevin. So I understand it's a machine-based polishing process, but I'm not sure what that process entails. If you have any more details, chat would like to know. But we may not know the specific detail of it. You reckon you'll ever get some Aqua Kings? So I have some personally. I don't know if I'm going to stock them on the store or not. We'll have a look at it in the future maybe, but not right now. I have a lot of different switches in stock and a lot of different switches coming. So I think by the end of this year we'll have had 60 different switches in stock. So I'm not going to lube these today. Hot lemon tea, I'm not going to lube them today. We're just going to use them stock and see how they are stock, and that gives you a really good baseline if you want to try and lube them yourselves when you can pick these up next week. Okay, so it's mechanical and chemical polishing. Okay, great. Given it's nylon, I imagine that there'll be some kind of solvent that's applied onto the polishing machine, and as the machine is moved into the switch, the solvent will slightly change the surface of the material, making it smoother. CJs and a frog would be nice. I don't think these will get affected by opening and putting them back together with CJs. I think these are going to be just fine to open and loop. These are going to be like, everyone likes Nixie switches because they're rare, but these are going to be like Nixie switches that are actually good to use and actually good to lube as well. So I use Matt the Pokemon Kid here in the UK to do most of my lubing. I'm going to keep 2,000 of these switches for my own personal builds, and I'm going to send him the lot to lube. So let's put that into context. If I'm going to keep a couple of thousand of these to one side, the only other switch I've done that recently with is Lavender's. So that kind of gives you an idea of what these feel like just from being outside of the keyboard. To me, for my personal. I use Matt the Pokemon Kid on Discord. So if you're in MK UK Discord server, he's called Matt the Pokemon Kid. I usually, in fact, he's got about 2,000 switches of mine at the minute. Can I see the switches again? Yeah, sure. These are the Gateron X switches. We'll have some more close-up details later on. They have a little X in the stem circle underneath. You can just see that just there. There's a little X just inside the circle in the center. What do I think of the Logitech MX Master? I use MX Master 3s on all of my computers everywhere. So I have one here, I have one in the workshop, and I have one at home. MX Master 3, from a productivity perspective, is the best mouse out there. I don't really game on keyboard and mouse, so I can't comment on what it's like for gaming. But from a productivity mouse, I haven't found anything that comes close. What silent switches do I like? I don't really like silent switches, if I'm honest. If I was going to have to pick one, it would probably be the silent Zeal switches. Is your car a Datsun? I have a lot of cars. Tis of Pirates, hey man, good to see you. I have a lot of cars. So I have a few Datsuns. I have a 1969 Datsun 521 pickup truck. I have a 1974 Datsun 620 pickup truck. I have a 1976 Datsun Z Fairlady. I have a 1967 Nissan P130, which is the precursor to the Gloria, Laurel, and Cedric lines that Nissan did in the 70s and onwards. I also have a 1999 Peugeot 306 turbo diesel. I have a 2021 Tesla Model 3, a 2018 Mazda CX5. I'll get it right, the SUV. And I also have a Peugeot 107 from a few years ago. And finally, I have another Datsun which I've recently bought, which is a 1976 260C that I'm currently in the process of importing. So that should be here late this year, early next year. Do I have more cards and keyboards? No. I have about 300-ish keyboards in my collection. I don't have an accurate count of how many keyboards I have, but it's north of 300 now. But if you have an Escort that you're restoring, I'd love to see it, dude. Like, classic Fords are amazing. I've never owned one, but I've owned a lot of cars over the years. I think I've owned like 60 cars over the years. Okay, let's take these switches out now. And this is where I wish I had to hand my Wook switch puller. I don't know where that's gone. Ah, it's here. Get the good switch puller. Oops. The 260C is cool. Yeah, it's red. It's the H330 model. And it should be imported towards the back end of this year, early next year. But I get to go pick the P130 up on Thursday of this week, which is why I'm not in the office on Thursday. I will be driving down to Bristol, picking that up with a friend, and then bring it back home. Personal collection sale. At some point, yeah, at some point. Do you do the keyboard count by weight as well? I mean, I could. It'd be relatively excellent. The switches are not just Milky Top Yellows. No, these are different. So just standard Milky Top Yellows do not have the Pro stem, which these have. They do not have polished stems, and they do not have polished bases, all of which this particular series of switches has. These are also, I think, a slightly different spring. Envious Media, thank you very much for being here, man. Appreciate you being here. So they're not the same as just standard Milky Top Yellows, Jay. If you scroll up chat, Kevin, KK, did put a little bit of information about the switches into chat as well. Wook switch puller is amazing. No damage from the last time I pulled a lot of switches. In-stock mystery box sales would be cool. Yeah, I've been toying with that idea since you mentioned it last time, Ty. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have like a 50 quid box, and it's going to include like some random stuff early in January for like the January sales. And it's just going to be like, it'll be like 50 quid, but I think that it'll be valued at 65 quid. And yeah, you'll get a lot of mystery stuff. You won't know what you're getting until it arrives. But it could include keycaps, it could include switches, it could include desk mats, all that kind of stuff. So I think we're going to do them early next year, like January. If the 50 quid ones work well, we'll probably do like a £100 one as well, and see how that goes. When will these be up on the site? I'm hoping back end of the week. I'm hoping Thursday night, Friday morning, the Gateron X will be listed on the site. If I can get them up before that, I will. But I need to count the switches out into bags so we can fulfill orders before I can put them up on the site. And that's what takes the time. So you guys will see in a minute how I get them. And then I have to count them into bags from there. So yeah. Will you include your leftover bleach and pad kits? I gave most of those away. Like I gave I want to say 10 of those bleached numpad kits away, I think, something like that. Keyboard group by mystery box when all you know is the layout. That sounds more like a subscription box. Sorry, Porcus, I'm not sure I understand the question. Are they doing just yellows? Like the Switch is a Gateron X. It just happens to have a yellow stem. It's not like a recolor of a Gateron yellow. Pricing will be announced soon. I want to align with the other vendors before I announce pricing, but they will be relatively inexpensive compared to some custom Switches on the market. We will make them as cheap as I possibly can, in line with the other vendors. So the aim isn't to make huge amounts of profit off these. It's more about being able to share something cool with the community. Have you ever thought about like raffling off personal keyboards that you don't use that often, like £10 a ticket? I'm sure loads of people would sign up. Maybe. Like, I don't see why I'd need to. I like having my collection. But maybe at some point. Like, I probably will reduce it at some point early next year, because I do have a lot of keyboards and a lot of them don't get used. But I don't know if I'll do like a raffle style approach. That just feels a bit weird. Are they doing tactiles or just linears, or don't we know yet? So as far as I know, it's just linears for the minute. Kevin is in chat, who arranged this project and was the go-to for the project. He might be able to answer if they want to do other Switch types in the future. What's on the printers this evening? I'll show you in a second. Basically, to keep up with all of the Switch orders that we've had, it's Switch openers and stem tweezers. But I think we have enough printed for like most of the orders. But I'm just making sure we've got plenty, so that's what we're printing. I'll show you guys in a second what we're printing. There we go. Hex keyboards sold the GAT switches already. Yeah, great, good for them. I literally got them on Friday. I don't know what you want me to do, but I can't get them into stock that quickly. Like, counting out 10,000 switches to put into stock would be like half of what I've got, and yeah, like it's not that easy to put them into stock. Like, yeah, different vendors have lots of different things to do. Okay, they'll be sold on my store in bundles of 70, 90, and 110. So bear that in mind, guys, when you're considering buying these. Just going to unscrew the PCB now. The North American vendor will be Canon Keys for these switches, I believe. Well, I know it's Canon Keys, so I don't need to tell you I believe it. It is Canon Keys. One Drunk Man, hey man, good to see you, dude. Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. I'll release pricing later on this week. They're not going to be particularly expensive. I don't want to kind of like jump in and say exactly what the pricing is going to be right now. But yeah, the pricing is not going to be particularly expensive. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can figure out what the pricing is going to be roughly. Give you guys an idea. So I think they're going to be. Oh gosh, let me try and work this out. Let me try and give you a rough idea of price to within a few pence per switch. Let me give you a rough idea. Okay, so they're going to be around 50 to 55p per switch. That's where we're looking at for these. 50 to 55 pence per switch. Let me check on who the EU vendor is. I think I know who it is. I just want to double check. Yes, it'll be my keyboard for the EU vendors for these. Yeah, I mean the idea is that, I mean, there's not like a huge margin on those. We're not like trying to do these for profit. We're trying to do them for like a good price for customers. That's the kind of aim. So I think we're aiming for around 57 cents in the US for 110 switches, which when I convert that to GBP and add VAT on top, which I legally have to charge, it's about 52.5p. So it's somewhere between 50 and 55p. That's kind of where my thinking is right now. It really depends on the exchange rate and stuff like that, and depends on what I had to pay for import duties and things. So it's going to be somewhere between 50 and 55p per switch. That's kind of where we're aiming at. So don't be upset if it's 55p a switch, but don't be expecting it to be 50p a switch. It'll be somewhere in that range. Somewhere in that range, okay? Let's hope. Don't tell me, Bad. I don't want to know any of the results. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. What time is Drat going live tomorrow? Probably around 4 p.m. I'll wait until Dixie's live, Garrett's live on Omnitype in the US, and then it'll go live here in the UK around the same sort of time. So I assume somewhere in the late afternoon. Eloquent clicks for EU. I don't believe that they are the official seller of them. Maybe they are. I know that my keyboard bought some. So there you go. Eloquent clicks. I don't think Eloquent clicks is actually EU, are they? I think they're just. Are they just Spain? I think. I'm not sure. Like I'm struggling with my memory on this one. Like there's a lot of projects going on. Spain, yeah, there we go. The Spanish vendor, yeah. Are the kits different or anything for round 2? Round 2 of what tie? Round 2 of what tie? Clapped, hey man, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. The vendor list for just posted by KK. That's the vendor list for the new Gateron X switches. These are Gateron X. They're not standard Gap Milky Yellows. These are Gateron X switches, which are very different. Okay, so we have our PCB. This is the PCB we're going to use today. It's our standard Hotswap build, which is the Mekboards. Shout out to Mekboards, who are another great UK vendor. If you're in the UK, do support Mekboards. They're a really good set of guys. I'm good friends with David and Ben, so yeah, check that out. HS60 by Yankar, another British designer. This is what we're going to use today. We're going to use the carbon fiber plate. We've just taken those switches out, and those are Gateron CJs. And now you're going to see how I get the switches delivered to me. So I have a lot of boxes of these. And this is how switches get delivered to vendors. And this is why we have to count them out and put them in bags for people. Because this is how they come. They come just like that. There's roughly 1,000 in here. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit fewer. Like when you count them out manually, I've had anywhere between 990 switches in a tub of these, which is classed as 1,000, and 1,120 switches. So yeah, it's roughly 1,000 here, roughly 1,000 switches here. We shouldn't need all 1,000 for this build though. If you order your switches in 1,000, it makes it dead easy, Zora. If I tell you what, guys, I will put an option for you to buy 1,000 switches on the store of these Gateron X switches, and if anyone actually buys them, I'll be very happy because it makes it very easy for me to ship. But you just get to what's in the tub. If it's 990, tough luck. If it's 1,120, great for you. You get some extra switches. But yeah, that's roughly what it is. This is the ultimate flex way to build a keyboard. List it as a tub. A tub of approximately 1,000 switches. Approximately. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh wait, I've missed some switch holes out here. What am I doing? I'm concentrating on the chat too much, and I'm missing switches out. Do I rate these more than CJs? I think it depends. So let me just go back and recap. So the CJs are smoother than these. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be completely and brutally honest. The CJ switches, the blue ones, these are slightly smoother, like maybe 2% smoother. There's a slight difference in smoothness. It's very, very slight, and you can only feel it when you push really, really slowly on the switches. If you just push them normally, they feel the same. But what I suspect is that where these are quite high pitched, the CJ switches, these are going to be much deeper and thockier because they have that milky top, which is a sound that I really, really enjoy. So I think these are going to be my go-to switch. I'll be honest with you, just from trying out the prototypes and trying these ones out in hand, not in a board, I'm fairly confident that these are going to be my go-to switch. I'm guessing you have containers for each bag size before you weigh them. So we have like a set of scales and a tub that goes on the set of scales, and we put these in a bigger box and we scoop them out and put them into the scales until it reads the right number of switches, and then we just ship that out. We put that in a bag and we ship it off. It takes about a minute a bag, and yeah, 20,000 switches is roughly just over half a day's work, give or take. Any spring ping at all? Not that I've heard, but I haven't tried them in a board. I feel like spring ping you tend to hear more when you've got keycaps on a board. So we'll see what that's like. But I think once these are lubed, these are going to be my go-to switches. I think all switches do benefit from lubing, and I think that once these are lubed up, these are going to be top tier. This won't become less smooth, Zanette. This won't become less smooth. But we will open one up when we've built a board. I'll show you guys the inside. I think Kevin has some pictures he can share as well, the insides. These are polished internally as well, yes. So these are polished on the stem and on the housing. Where the stem and the housing touch on the inside, like where they rub each other on the inside, that's where it's polished on the inside. Chemically and mechanically polished. But we'll open one up, don't worry guys, we'll open one up. Kevin's getting frustrated. He's hearing me say his name all the time. He's hearing me say all his name. There is no information online just yet. There will be very, very soon. Clapped. This is where we're talking about them first. This is where I'm giving my impressions, and they'll be on my site in the next couple of days. Now, what I will say is Theremin Go is about to drop his review on them as well. I don't know if it's published as yet, but he's going to drop a review on them as well very, very soon. Oh, you snatched J1 on Saturday. Congratulations, Annette. Congratulations. The yellow complements the carbon fiber plate. It does, right? It looks really good. Oh, there we go. KK has confirmed. I didn't know if that was public. I didn't know if I could publish it yet, Kevin. So I'm glad you can publish it. There you go. There's Theremin Goat's views on these switches. Will these be more budget than the CJ? So these are going to be somewhere between 50 and 55 pence per switch in the UK, including VAT. In the US, I think they're going to be about 57 cents per switch. Somewhere between 55 and 60 cents per switch in the US, depending on how many you buy, I think. So yeah, so that's roughly what the pricings are looking like. I don't know pricings for the vendors worldwide, and I haven't settled on my pricing yet because it's going to depend on a few things like exchange rates and how much the import fees were and stuff, which I need to sit down and look through. But we're going to be somewhere between 50 and 55 pence, including VAT, in the UK for these switches. Blue 8-key macro with brass pen rail. Do you know quite a lot of people asked for the blue one recently? There's some known entities in the keyboard world that all picked the blue one. So I think you're in good company there. How are the switches polished? The switches are polished by Gateron in-house using a proprietary process that's both mechanical and chemical. The benefits are they're polished, so they're smoother. We did do some private commissions, which we're going to ship out. I think commissions for the J-Series boards will come back probably early in December when I've got a little bit more time to look at them. So if you're interested in one, Clapped, I will announce on the Discord when commissions reopen. Envious is definitely from the MechBoards Discord and the UK Discord. And I haven't forgotten that you wanted something off me, Envious. What was it? Was it an AT102? That I'm going to look for you, see if I have. Well, I know I have a couple of them, but a clean one. Is that what I was going to look for? The only rule for commissions when we do open them, Clapped, is that it can't be any colorway that we're planning to run, and it can't be a colorway that someone else has asked for in commission. That's the only rules. You like how there's a subtle X? Yeah, there is a very subtle X right in the center circle there. it's really difficult for me to show it on camera, but it is there, I promise. Let's try the other camera. Let's see if you can see them on the other camera. It's right in the dead center. Come on, camera, focus. It's really hard for me to show you. There it is. You see? Right in the center stem circle, there is an X. There it is. Is the fulfillment for the private ones quick in the group buy? It really depends on what you want, and it depends. Like it's not gonna be like 2 weeks. Like don't expect that. It's gonna be months. It's not gonna be a few weeks. But they'll be as fast as I can physically do them. So yeah, just to put that into context. From what I understand, polish reduces surface roughness, thus decreasing the friction coefficient with the materials. This leads to a smoother contact between the stem and the bottom housing. That's a really, really good way of putting it, Kevin. I like how you worded that. We should put that in the product description. I'll let you amend the product description and add it to that if it's not already there. Trojam says, Jay, I want to add a POM plate and a brass pen rail to my order. Can I send you an email? You can, but they have to be in stock when I get to the email, which will only be during office hours. And bear in mind, I've got a lot of emails to get to. So if I don't have them in stock, I can't add them to your order. Just bear that in mind. Japanitrat, hey man, good to see you. I figure the polishing process probably involves chemical that attacks the material, which if you've ever seen 3D printing processing might be distantly similar. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too distantly similar. I think it's going to be quite close. Effectively, what you're doing when you chemically polish something is onto the surface that you want to polish, you're applying a chemical, a solvent in effect, that is going to change the surface properties of that surface, and then you're mechanically using some sort of tool to affect that chemical process, and then when you clear it down, you wipe it off and you remove the chemical, it stops the process happening. You should have a smoother surface. Think like when glass gets hit by lightning and turned sand gets hit by lightning and turned into glass. It's a kind of similar process, but to a plastic and on a much softer scale. You love the cam's bottom right? Yeah, so we're printing 3D stem holders, and these are going to be switch openers when they're finished. We give them away for free with any order of switches from the site. So even if you order these, you'll get those for free as long as we've got them in stock. Do I have any plans to stock J-Wick switches? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. With the color limitations, do you mean each individual board has to be different? So commissions can be for either a single board or for a group of boards. We've done some EVA themed JO2s, which we're going to sell some extras for very, very soon. We can do like custom colors. You just can't have the same commission that someone else has commissioned because they've got there first, effectively. So if they've done something that they wanted to do and you want the same as them, we're not going to do it because it's just kind of not fair. So that's the answer. Can you make red and green and blue and yellow the colors the eyes can't technically see? Red, green, and blue, yellow. Can I make what in those colors? Like 3D prints? No. Do you need to lube this? I think these are going to need to be lubed slightly, yes. JDMG pics of the engraving and polish rails of the some housing will update the product page info as well. Awesome. Yeah, so let me drop those pictures in the chat. So here is a picture of the X on the underside, so you guys can take a look at that. And then here is a picture of the inside of the housing as well. Wait, why did that not paste? Oh, what am I doing? What's going on here? Wait, what? There we go. Fix that. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Why is the why is this not working? Paste. There we go. There we go. There's the two pictures. Have you tried the Giant Frosties V5? By the way, how are they compared to the V4? So they're made by Texty, so the Giant V5s are a little bit different to the previous ones. I haven't tried them in a build yet, no, but they should. There's been a lot of people buy them, so you should see some reviews quite soon. The Panku switches are basically the same, but they're a different colorway, so they're slightly different colors depending on what you're looking for. Yeah. The wallpaper on my desktop. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. let me show you that again. I don't think I'm showing anything I shouldn't be. Yeah, so this is the so a friend of mine made this for me. This is a rendering of lavender switches. He made a few for me. So I've got it on both monitors. I have it on that monitor, and I also have it on my vertical monitor to the side here. It's slightly different, but yeah. Lupo Loopy says, "Hey man, have you heard if there are any plans to do more runs of the Anubis Switch?" I think there will be, but it'll be next year. Windows 11's all right. Yeah, I didn't even choose to update it. I think Mel did it on purpose to frustrate me, but it's actually been really, really good. I've had no problems with it. Any word of heavier spring weights for the new GAT switches, Pro X? So Gateron X and Gateron Pro are two very different things. Please don't confuse them. You could probably put different springs in them if you want. No issues at all with that. I think these springs are pretty good. So yeah. So Tangies will come back next year. I don't think they'll be in stock this year, but they will come back next year. We'll also have banana splits in stock in about a week's time. There we go. Right, okay, so now we've got the switches in the board. There you go. Gateron X switches in a keyboard. This is a Hotswap board with a carbon fiber plate, and this is what we're going to use for the sound test today. Let's screw this down. I have seen the new Gateron stabs, yes. I'm not sure if I'm going to stock them or not. I haven't worked out with my Gateron rep yet whether that's going to be a thing or not. Demotex, hey man, good to see you. Please no F1 spoilers. I'm going to watch that as soon as the stream's over. I'm going to go home and watch it. Gadex's sound good on anything, I'm going to bet. Bear in mind these are completely stock switches, guys, so the sound will be a little bit deeper if you loop them. I'm very excited to see people's builds come out. Hotswap 60s are lovely quick builds. Yeah, you're right. The bottom out is going to be loud on these. Yeah, especially it's going to be amplified by the carbon fiber plate. Here we go. That's the board all built and screwed together. Now we're going to put some keycaps on. But this is where you guys come in. As always, you guys are going to get to pick the keycaps that we use today. Let me set up a quick poll, and you guys can pick the keycaps we put on the board today. So, your choices for today, because this is just what I had in from last week. A GMK Shoko. Let me put the options in as I read them out. A GMK Handabyte. A GMK Matrix 01. I'm not going to use any SA or anything like Susa Atari or MT3 or anything like that today, mainly because everyone knows what cherry profile caps sound like, so it's a good test base for people to understand what it sounds like. You can also pick GMK Future Funk, and we'll have a poll up in a second for this. Whoops. I'll if I typed in the box. And then the final one for today. The final option is GMK Taro. Okay, let's start that poll going. You guys can pick whatever you'd like. The poll is now live. So just as a reminder, you can pick GMK Taro. Whoops, get it on the camera screen. You can pick GMK Future Funk. You can pick GMK Matrix 01. You can pick GMK Handabyte. Or you can pick GMK Shoko. Those are your choices for today's build. Andromeda, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Those are the options for the build today. Let me know what you want to see. Need some Shoko love. Let's see how the poll's going. Matrix 01's winning right now. Interesting. Erlendin who? I apologize if I butchers that up. Any thoughts on the Mekanisk Edda board? I think it looks great. I really want to try one out. I spoke to Leandrin about it. Hopefully I'll be able to get one in to try out at some point soon. Huey says SAA. I wish I had. I read it as SA before, but I wish I had Arabic. Huey tried to rig Handabite. It wasn't enough. Well, it's not doing so bad. Laligator just subscribed. Thank you so much, man. He says, go Future Funk. I think Future Funk is going to struggle today. Edit in Velvet? Yeah, it'd be nice. Nice. Handabite being pumped? It looks like it was. It looks like it was hugely pumped. Wondrick Man says, oh, we do a little rigging. Yeah, well, you guys can rig it as much as you like. If you don't want to see Handabite clapped, you have to do something about it. That's the thing, right? You have to do something about it. 2k points wasted on Matrix. We'll never understand Handabite. So Handabite has like a bit of historical significance in the hobby, and I'm not being blasé when I say that if it wasn't for the original Handabite set, we might not have the custom keycaps from GMK we have today. So back when Cherry owned the GMK, what are the GMK molds today, the Cherry profile molds, they went to a trade show and they took with them a keyboard, which was one of their standard keyboards, and they produced the first set of GMK Handabite. Now, it wasn't called Handabite, the board was called Handabite, which kind of, I think in the German, I think from memory, it sounds like something like handmade or something like that. But effectively what it was a proof of concept. It was like saying, look what we can do with ABS colors. Look how cool this is. You can make all these bright, vivid colors for keycaps. Businesses, make your keyboards custom if you want to, with your company colors, for example, like the Routers boards did. And that was what GMK did. They took that board to a trade show just to show off the colors and the capability of their manufacturing. From there, someone in the community years ago found that actual board and liked the colors, and then it was kind of ingrained in popular culture that someone would eventually, when we found out about GMK, which I'll talk about in a second, someone would want to rerun that set. Now, the hobby didn't know that GMK existed for a long time, and one of the other things that got us interested in GMK was the red escape key that was on some vintage Cherry keyboards. So there was some vintage keyboards that had a double shot red escape key with white legend. And those were going for like $300, and then all of a sudden someone found out that GMK could actually make them, and then they were selling for like $3 each. So that was what got us back into the GMK as a hobby, as a community. And then someone found this GMK Handabite board, the original Cherry trade show keyboard, to show what they could do with the colors, and that's where the set comes from. So if Cherry had never done that and showed what they could create with those colors, we might never have had the connections to GMK that we have today, and the option to create all of these beautiful colored keycaps. Like that red escape key and the finding of the Handabite board were what really kind of pushed the community in those directions. So there you go. That's a little bit of history for you. And now it's really tight between Handabite and Matrix 01. If you guys want to swing it either way, you need to vote now. You got the Velvet as well, Hugo? Nice. Nice. Ah, there we go. Huey's linking pictures to the Handabite G80, the board that I'm talking about. What can I do to disqualify Handabite? Drop bits or channel points. You vote on Twitch entity. You can see it on the top of on top right hand side of your screen, probably in the chat. You should be able to see the option to vote. If you can't, refresh the stream and it should show up. You've got about 30 seconds left. I maintain my Taro vote in the face of adversity. That's fair. You sold Handabite so good, like you're the one ringing the bell. Hey, I just talked about it, right? I just talked about the process behind it. Poncho Frito, Gateron X's are a new Switch. They're polished on the stems and rails. Matrix are one's one, yay. They're polished on the stems and rails on the inside the Switch. They're a completely custom new mold. They have a little X on the base. I think they're going to be really good. That's kind of where we're up to. Someone dumped a lot of points to Matrix. Yeah, Matrix won by a little bit of a landslide at the end. Okay, let's flick it back over. Dilson says Handabite is legendary and you guys blew it. It's alright, Handabite will be back another week, I'm sure. Right, let's get these keycaps on this board. Oh wait, that's wrong side spacebar. I wonder why it didn't fit. Wrong side spacebar, that's why. Let's go for the accent ISO answer here, just because it's fun and it's cool. I think I am going to like these more than the CJ switches, yeah. That's just my gut feel right now. I hate life. Everything is ruined. What's wrong, KK? What's wrong? What's wrong? GMK Diner is my dream set, but I can't afford it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. Whoops. Handabyte. Oh, right, okay. What's my storage box of choice? I use these little tubs usually for keycaps. For switches, I tend to keep them in bags. For my personal collection, anyway. Whoops. I'm being very clumsy with these keycaps today. I don't want either of those. We'll use that one. Why not? I like the fun keys that come in this set. Wrong shift. On the right shift. Is that the correct shift? Oh. Oh man, this set's got so many keys in it. So many keys. I thought for a minute it was a vote on which keycap set to burn. Haha, very good, very good. Handabyte's a good set. I don't care what you guys say. I'm going to use some of these novelty caps because I really do like them on this set. Are you looking to stock Stabies, by the way? Yeah, I've submitted a vendor application to stock them, so hopefully we'll find out in the next couple of weeks whether I can or not. I think that's up to Eric at AE Keyboards at the moment. So if you want to get an update on that, go back in. When did this set run? This set ran like 18 months ago, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. It shipped about 6 months ago, I think, something like that. But this is GMK Matrix 01. It's pretty expensive in the aftermarket these days, sadly. But it's got some really cool keys with it. It doesn't support full UK ISO, sadly. But it's got enough ISO compat to keep me happy. Two weeks. Flashback to the hour I spent figuring out POM jellies with the legends. It tells you on the inside of the keycap for those, dude. It makes it dead easy. I know that's not going to help you now, but like on the inside of the keycap it says what row it is. I suspect I probably made you very angry by telling you that. I told someone about that a couple of weeks ago and they were like, what? I spent like 2 hours just figuring out which keycap went where, laying them all out, checking the profiles. Like, oh, it says on the inside. And they were like, what? I just realized I have put a wrong profile keycap on. in my rush to make ISO. Dracula 2 tomorrow? Yes. Is it wrong to put the cherry enter from Shine Through on the W180 as it's an IBM board? No, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I think that's acceptable. Getting there slowly with the caps now, guys. Sorry it's taking me so long. I apologize. Just trying to work out what we actually need. It's got some great novelties as this set though. Just some really, really good caps. And so many of them as well. Okay, almost there now, guys. Almost there, I promise. I know we don't need any of the space bars, so we can bring up those. Are we going to be an alt short? Oh, there it is. There we go. There we go. So I have used a couple of the novelty keys on this one. Just to chuck some randomness in there and have some fun. But here we go. This is GMK Matrix 01 on a Gateron X switch in a Mekanisk clipper with a HS60 PCB. So there you go. That's the build, guys. In ISO layout, I would say it's UK ISO layout, but it's not really. It's just kind of like a mix and match ISO layout. But how cool is the enter key? Look at that. How cool is that? It's just good fun key, and the exit escape key, the little skull and crossbones, and then the binary code there. Okay, let's catch up with chat before we do a quick sound test. Isn't everything expensive in the aftermarket these days? I think it's dropping a little bit. It's not quite as bullish of a market as it was. Will you be running custom CF plates anytime soon? Yeah, I plan to do a group buy for them imminently, soon, next couple of weeks. Alariax says, I heard somewhere that Gion and yourself are working on bringing the frog to the UK. True. True. We've talked about it. I think if you search in the Gion Discord, you can see where we talked about it. Omar, who's in chat, actually helped facilitate that. Is Dracula 2 going to have full UK ISO support? There is a Norda kit, not a UK kit. Looking at Handlebyte a bit more, and it came from a Cherry MY board. Now I hate it even more. It did come from a Cherry MY board. Yeah, this is like just one of those things. I love how JStream is always stress testing my internet. Well, drop the quality. Drop the quality down to 360p or something. What's running on the presses? We have two things running on the presses. We have some stem tweezers, and we also have some switch openers. Basically, whenever I sell a packet of switches, I give a switch opener and a stem tweezer free to the person who bought it, as long as I've got some printed off and in stock. So I'm just printing off more to make sure I've got plenty. Telvin says, yeah, just pulled off an arrow keycap and there it is, an R1 in the bottom corner. There you go. Terminal ISO, kind of, yeah. What does the bottom look like of the board? It's just flat black. This is just a standard clipper. Nothing overly special, but just such a really good board. That looks like it would match the Gateron CJs a bit more. I think it clashes, actually. I think it clashes. It's just a little bit too different of a blue. It's exclamation mark build. WAN, I'm going to say. Jew for NM. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the other way around. It's exclamation mark build. What keycaps are those? GMK Matrix 01. What's a stem tweezer? So basically it's a series of tweezers that are designed to hold onto the stem. So they literally grip onto the stem so that whilst you're lubing, it holds the stem and you just hold the tweezers. But they grip when you're not holding them. So they're like a reverse action tweezer. So when you're not applying pressure, they're gripping the stem. And when you do apply pressure, it lets go. So there you go. The files for my stem salt holder are not open source, but there are some open source ones out there. Chances of a free logo you want one of the PT keycaps, the Prototypist GMK keycaps? If you ask very, very nicely in your order notes, maybe you'll get one. Maybe, not promised, but you can buy them on the store. They are in stock. So if you're ordering stuff from the store, you can just add one for a couple of quid. So there we go. Have you tried lubed CJs yet? They are night and day unlubed versus lubed. I haven't lubed any yet. I have some lubed ones coming in, so we'll see. No, it's a Mekanisk case. It's the Clipper case from Mekanisk. It's not a Tofu. Clipper T, yeah. New molds for these switches? Yeah, new molds, and the stems and the rails inside the switch are polished. They're polished. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. And then we'll do a little bit of a typing test and see how these sound. I always try to read every message getting behind. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah. Posture check. Yeah, we'll just set it down. We're good. We're good. We're good. I've been looking for some brown Alps since you said they were your favorite switch. I've had zero luck finding any for even $6 to $9 a switch. Nobody is selling them. They're really expensive. Like, yeah, like I've run out of them now. I've used them all. I'd have to desolder them from a board to reuse them. Is the PT GMK keycap the best one? I tell you what, let me get the actual colours for you. Give me a second, I'll get you the specific colours. Let me see. WS1 and N7. There you go. WS1 and N7. That's the color of the Prototypist keycap. WS1 and N7. I'm looking at my invoice now from when I bought them. They were very expensive. Hydrate? Yeah, thanks. Truman, if you were going to come and visit, then the closest train station is probably Bradford City, and then it's about 10 minutes in the car from there. Speaking of expensive switches, I have two MX locks. I have no idea what to use with. Put them on a caps lock on something, can be fun. Right, okay, let's pause the music. And let's see what these sound like. Bear in mind, guys, that these Gateron X switches are completely stock. They're unlubed. They're in a Clipper T on a carbon fiber plate in a Hotswap PCB with a GMK keycaps. That's what we're working with today. Let's see how they sound. Okay, so I have to be honest, I'm really happy with these. These sound like Gateron switches, but they feel so good. Like, they feel really smooth. This is just a tray mount case. It's a tray mount case. There's no scratch on these. There's no scratch. It does not feel scratchy at all. Index finger spacebar, yeah. I learned to type on a ThinkPad, so I learned to type with my thumb on the trackpad and my thumb clicking the buttons and my fingers on the board. So that's how I learned to. So I was like moving around, click the buttons and type. That's how I learned to type. So please ignore it. They sound good. They sound really good. I don't hunt and peck. I can touch type. Hunt and peck is like that. That's not how I type. No, I write. So this is gonna sound really weird, but what I do in my head is I write a letter to my mum died like 18 months ago, 2 years ago. Well, over 2 years ago now, just over 2 years ago, and 2.5 years ago. Gosh, time's flying. And every time I do one of these recently, I've just been thinking, what do I want to say to her? And I type that. Like, I know that sounds really weird and really daft and really unusual, but it's just like in my head, like what do I want to say to her right now? And that's what I type. So there we go. They are stock switches, but these feel so smooth. There's no spring ping noise. No. I think the springs could do with a tiny bit of lube on them. I'll be honest. I think the springs could do with a tiny bit of lube on them. And these switches should be lubed, in my opinion. I think these switches absolutely should be lubed. They're not like the CJs, which I think shouldn't be lubed. I think they don't need to be lubed, but these should be lubed. I think these are really, really good switches. Like, they feel super smooth. I like the polished stems. I like the pro stems as well. They feel really good. Yeah. I didn't think I would be crying at the Gatex review stream, but here we are. You're crying? What are you crying for? Don't cry. What are you crying for? Did I miss something? Will I lube a couple of comparisons? Yeah, I'm not going to lube right now on stream because I don't have all my gear to hand, but I will open one up. This keyboard sounds oddly similar to the one I'm currently using now. Nice. Lube Get Extreme next. Yeah, I'll lube some up, and next week I'll do a build stream with lubed versions of these. All stock springs should be thrown away anyway. Yeah, I think these. So in my head, these switches are a modder's dream. Like, they're a really solid and competent switch straight out of the box. But I think that these are a modder's dream. Like, if you're wanting to lube switches, these are the perfect examples. So here you go. You can see the stem. Can you see how shiny that is? Just on the rails. Like, look how much of the light is reflecting there. These are. You can see the polished area on these. Here's the spring. These are completely stock, no lube on these at all, so that you can lube them to your heart's content with whatever lube you want to use. Come on, camera, please. And here's the inside of the housing. It's going to be really hard to show you on camera where these are polished. Like, just getting the light to shine in the right area is going to be difficult. Let me see if I can use my phone camera, my phone torch even. Let's see if this helps. Can you try not to show all my screen? Wait, where's the torch? It's really hard to show you. There, can you see it's shining there? And glinting? That's where it's polished. There's a better picture in chat that I dropped in there. Like, if you like Gateron switches, I think these are a modder's dream. Like, these are designed for hobbyists. These are designed for people who are happy to mod their switches. And I think these are going to be great. Look at this. There you go, there's a stem. Look how much light it reflects on the stem. There. Only yellow at the moment, yeah, only yellow. I'm pretty stoked for these switches. There we go. And there you can see the X on the base as well. That's how you know you've got a Gateron X switch. Tight housings, yeah, the housings are pretty solid. There's very, very little wobble. I think now I've opened this one, it's a slight bit less tight. It's a little bit looser. So comparing it to one that's not been opened, it's a little bit looser now that I have opened it. And you can see that from the legs on the base are slightly, they're not closed quite as tightly. But yeah, these are a modder's dream. Like, if you like modifying switches, these are the money. That's where the money is. So there we go, guys. Gateron X switches on a Clipper T with GMK Matrix 01. I'm pretty happy with that. I prefer these to the Gateron CJs, and the CJs are really good. Like, final thoughts on this: if you want a smooth switch stock that you don't want to do anything with, go for the CJs. If you want a modified switch, these are the money. That's where it is. Yeah, the new Gateron ones where you press the handles together, JQ, they really stretch out a switch. I hate using them for that reason. They really stretch out a switch, and I've actually had a couple of switches where it's actually broken the pole on the base. It's actually pushed that through and broken it. This board particular here, this is a Clipper T from Mekanisk keyboards with GMK Matrix 01, Gateron X switches, which are the new Gateron switches, carbon fiber plate, and a Hotswap HS60 PCB. Gaterons don't have the best wobbles, so consider filming if that's a concern. I think these are pretty good. Like, compared to some other Gaterons, these are pretty good. Huey. Will these go up at the same time as banana splits? Yeah, these will be up later this week. Looking forward to picking up a few hundred. Nice. I'm gonna keep 2,000 for my own personal use. That's how much I like these switches. The smoother wasn't affected, Bonta. Like, when I had them both side by side, open one and put it back together, it was not affected. Not affected at all. Wondrick Man, what's wrong? What's wrong? Sad face. I suspect the logic would apply to other switches. Yeah, I think so. Would counterbending those legs before you put them back together? Sorry, yeah, I understand now. Yeah, so you can squeeze the legs a little bit tighter before you put it back together. Normally, if I'm lubing switches, I do that. They're still never quite the same as stock switches. You can still tell a little bit, but yeah, counterbending them will help. As long as you don't stress the plastic too much. See, I had very different results with that JQ. I've always preferred this switch opener. This is my go-to switch opener. I've probably done 20,000 switches with this opener, and I think this is by far the best one. But that's just personal preference, right? Chances stocking of the new box inks, by the way, high. They are going to happen at some point soon. I think it's going to be early next year before I actually get them. But yeah, the box inks, pink and black, are going to be in stock. Feel sounding compared to OP blacks. I think I prefer these personally. Bear in mind, right, guys, this is me telling you as me, not me telling you as go buy these switches. I really like these. I'm not trying to influence you in any way, shape or form, but I think these are a really solid switch. If you're into modding switches and you want to make a switch really your own, these are really good. If you want a switch that's stock and good out of the box, you want to look for something else. Well, I'm going to have to buy them, KK. I'll have to buy them off the store. That's how this works, Kevin. So, yeah. Preferences are banned in this hobby? Yeah. So I think these are nicer than OP Blacks, personally. And I did build the Type 65 with OP Blacks, and I did really enjoy those. I think once these are lubed, these are going to be nicer. That's just my personal view. It is the Nutcracker, yeah. This is the original run of the Nutcracker, yeah. Wait, camera's there. Wrong side. That's the original run of the Nutcracker. The Wook switch opener I found was as good as a switch puller. Didn't pull the legs as far as my cheap old one did. I have got some of the Wook openers still. I have to list in stock. I've got like 20 of them. I should really list those. But the switch puller, this switch puller is the best switch puller I have. And I was one of those people that shelled out for the Morgri one. So I literally spent 150 bucks on the Morgri switch puller. And the $20 Wookie switch puller is better. Like, this is just really good as a tool. Seems to match the Matrix 01. Yeah. It's a little bit off, but it's not too far off. It's closer to the mod colors. It still doesn't quite match anything. Like, they're all very different blues, but it's not a million miles away. Right, okay, so there we go, guys. That's probably it for the stream today. I do have to get home to watch the F1 now, because I've been raring to go watch the F1. But yeah, I hope you guys are interested by the Gateron X switches. I can't wait for people to bring some more releases out for them and some more details out for them. You can check out Theremin Goat's review. He gives them a score of 76 out of 100, which is pretty high for Theremin. You can read that and check that out as well. I'll have them in stock later on this week. Canon Keys are going to have them in stock later on this week. My keyboard are going to have them in stock. there's a whole list of other people. Kevin will will list them and share with them. There's a whole list of other vendors as well that I don't have access to right now. So yeah, that's where we're going. But I'm hugely impressed with these. These are going to be my go-to switch for the next couple of personal builds. So definitely watch them out. I'll do a lubed version next week, and we'll compare that lubed board to this board. I'll leave this board as it is, and we'll compare that next week on Sunday as well if I don't get a chance to do a stream beforehand. Is Icky V2 still dropping on the 12th? Yes, it is. It's dropping on the 12th. Today is the last day to join GMK Chaos Theory, so if you want to join that, do so now, because it'll be gone by the time I get up in the morning, more than likely. So yeah, watch out for that. Dracula round 2 starts tomorrow, so if you do want to get in on that, get in on it early, because we ship orders in the order that we get them, so definitely have a look at that. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your time, as always, and if you need anything, chat to me on Discord, drop an email. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.